Hagashem, Mahayel Hayim Behesed, Mahaye Hakol Berahamim Ramim, Somei Noflim Verafe Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayim, Umenato, Lishanei Afar, Mihamo Habali Kivrot, Umidomela, Melemamit, Umahaye, Umatmia Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lahayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mehaye hakol.
Nekadesh Eshem Ha Ba'alam, Keshem Shemakdishim O Tobes Mimaram, Hakatu Vaya Nivieha, Vikara Ze'el Ve'aman.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sefayot, Melo Kol Haaretz, Kevodo.
Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir Sim, Habikol Haaretz.
Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo.
Echad Hu Eloheinu, Hu Avienu, Hu Makeinu, Hu Moshienu, Hu Yashmienu, Rahama V'ene Chulchai, Ani Adonai Eloheim.
Yimloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah.
Ledor Vador Nagid Galeha, Unetzach Natsahim Kiddush Hat Nakdish, Vishivacha Eloheinu, Mepinu Lo Yamis Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat.
Mikadashe Shavi.
Shabbat.
Kulam Yisbu V'yatengu Mitiveha.
Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat.
V'yashvi Ratitabo V'kadashto.
Shabbat.
Kem Da Yamim Ota Karata.
Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat.
Zahir Lama'ase V'reshit.
Shabbat.
Zahir Lama'ase V'reshit.
Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat. Yismehu v'malahuteha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Onei Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Nekadesh HaShabbat.
We now take time for silent prayer.
Shalom Bimroma. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael. Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru. Shalom Bimroma. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael. Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru. Amen. Ya la 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 la. Shalom Bimroma. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael. Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru.
We have now arrived at Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah. In Jewish tradition, each Shabbat morning, we read a new piece of the Torah so that we complete a reading of the Torah, the full Torah, each year. We are starting the book of Leviticus this morning. So we want to invite up to the Bima, so up here, Flo and Betty Weiss to open our ark, and Lila and Henry Batt, who are going to remain up here to undress the Torah. And for our Torah pass, we want to first mention great-grandma Norma Vogel, who is symbolically passing the Torah to you from home. And we invite forward Barbara Goodman, Yusef Javeri, Rubina and Samuel Batt, and William Batt, and Flo Weiss, Andrea, Jeremy, Jake, and Spencer Davids.
Tion, Mitzvah Torah, Midbar Adonai Yerushalayim. Kimi Tion, Mitzvah Torah, Midbar Adonai Yerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo, Torah le'amo Yisrael. Baruch Shenatan
So Dakota and Charlie, we stand before you with these Torah scrolls, and we stand before you with all of these generations of your family next to you. And these people standing here represent just the beginning of all of the generations that have come before you. And each generation has passed on their values to the next generation. And today they pass all of those values and stories and traditions to you so that you can carry them on and live them out in your life.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
You may be seated.
I imagine that everyone in this room has made a mistake and had to apologize. Luckily, our Torah portion says that this is okay. This Torah portion is called Vayikra. It's all about how people would ask for forgiveness from God as Jews in ancient times. People would sacrifice items or animals based on their sin. One of the things that I found interesting about the portion is that people could make sacrifices based on their economic status. If people could not afford the sacrifice that was required by their sin, then they could sacrifice less. I think that this rule is important because it was fair to all people. No matter where you came from, it was important to bring sacrifices to God. This shows that all of our people were able to be forgiven, no matter their background. I think that my Torah portion is very important because I believe that everyone should have the chance to be forgiven for their sins and what they have done wrong. People should be given a second chance if they are truly sorry and have the opportunity to make it right. It can be difficult to ask for forgiveness because we may not be sure of how to make it right. It also can be difficult to forgive another person when they apologize. We might not know if we can trust them based on what they did wrong. I hope that our Jewish community recognizes that while everyone is capable of doing bad things, they are also capable of making it right. We can be forgiven by showing how sorry we are. This quality of our community shows that we are all together and supporting each other, and we can all learn from our mistakes.
Thank you. We're going to invite forward Cantor Mary Rebecca Thomas to join us on the bima to serve as your gabbai. And we are going to invite forward for the first aliyah, Jamie, Seth, Ella, and Audrey Chapon.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
V'hevi otam el hakohen v'higriv et asher lachatat rishona umalak et risho mimul orpo v'lo yavdil v'hiza midam hachatat akir hamizbeach v'hanishar badam Yimatzeh el yesod hamizbeach chatat hu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam nata b'telchenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Charlie is going to say the blessing for our second aliyah, but we call forward to stand around him to witness this moment Rubina and Samuel Batt, Barbara Goodman, Yusef Javeri, Brian Batt, Emily Goodman, and William Batt and Sarah Lale.
And now, Charlie, that you are surrounded by such important family, it's our privilege to call you to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. Ya'amod Chaim Yitzchak ben Shimon Shalom ha-bar mitzvah la'aliyah la-Torah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'et hasheni ya'aseh olah kamishpat, v'hiper aleha hakohen michatato. Asher chata v'nislach lo, v'im lo ta'asig yado lishnei torim, lishnei v'nei Yonah v'hevi et korbano, asher chata asiri ha'efa, so let lechatat lo yisim aleha shemen, v'lo yitain aleha levana ki chatat hi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'haye olam nata b'telchenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Now invite Dakota to come forward to share more words of Torah about this week's Torah portion.
Do you think that teasing your younger sibling is a sin that is worth a goat or a sheep? Our Torah portion has an opinion about this. Vayikra is from the book of Leviticus. I will be reading from chapter 5, verses 17 to 26. The Torah portion talks about what to do when people sin or lie and what they do to ask for forgiveness. This portion explains that people who sinned had to give offerings, which included making sacrifices for forgiveness. These offerings were animals that were sacrificed to God. One part that I thought was interesting was that even if you sin on accident, you still need to make it right. According to the Torah, you still needed to make a sacrifice, and you had to repay the person you had wronged. You repay them by paying back what you had stolen and a fifth more. In present day, we do not kill animals and give offerings when we make mistakes. Instead, we apologize and try to learn from our mistakes. I believe that our system today is better because it feels more sincere to apologize because it comes from the heart and it's not done because we have to do it. We can still turn to God today when we make mistakes, but not by offering sacrifices. God can guide us in the right direction. The lesson I learned from my Torah portion is that no matter how small or big our sin was, we should always try to make it right, whether or not it was on purpose. The portion also reminds me to learn from my mistakes and to grow from them. Learning from our mistakes can be difficult because at times it is hard to admit when we are wrong and we can be defensive about our sins. But instead of covering up our mistakes, we can turn to God and make them right. Our tradition teaches us to live an honest life and to be a good person. That is what I try to do every day.
Okay, for our first aliyah, we call forward Jake and Spencer Davids.
Barhu et Adonai Hamorah. Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Ve'im nefesh ki teheta ve'aseta ahat mikol mitzvot Adonai asher lo te'asena ve'lo yada ve'asham ve'nasa avuno ve'hevi ayutamin min hatzot berkeha le'asham el hakohe ve'hiper Allah hakohe al shigigato asher saga ve'hula yada v'nislach lo asham hu asham ladonai.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Toret Emet V'chayei Olam Natan B'tohenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
For the second aliyah, we call forward Andrea and Jeremy Davids.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe le'imor nefesh ki teheta uma'ala ma'al baronai v'chi heshba mito v'fi kadon o vitzu met yad o v'gasel o ashak et amito o matzah aveda v'chi heshba v'nisba ashaker Allahat mikol asher ya'asehu lo yitaneknu bayom ashmato. V'haya ki yeheta v'ashem v'heshiv et hagazela asher gaza o et hanek asher ashak O et hapikadon asher hutzkad ito o het aveda asher matzah.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Ta'amod, ta'amod, ta'amod. Chayayet Bat Yirmiyahu ve'abira leba bat hamitzvah.
Barhu et Adonai Hamvara.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvara Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvara. Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
O matzah avid. Wait, where am I? Oh. Oh.
Gosh, there's a lot of O's.
Oh, Miko, Asher Yisheva, Alav, La Sheker, Vishilam, Oto, Berosho, Vehamishitav, Yosei, Alav, La Asher Had, La Asher Hulo, Yitaneknu, Bayom Ashmato, Vet Ashmao Yavi, Ladonai, Ayil Tamin Min Hatyo Berkeha Lesham El Hakohe Vehiper Alav Hakohe Lifnei Adonai Vinislah Lo Alahat Miko Asher Yisha Miko Asher Yaaseh Lasmava. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
With the Torah out before us, we offer prayers for our community, and we begin with a prayer for the state of Israel. I call forward Sarah Jaffe Hirsch to lead us in reciting that prayer. Please join with us.
Makor HaChaim, source of life. Makor Shel Tikva, source of hope. We gather together with faith and hope to pray for peace and for the safety of the people of Israel. Protect us in our time of need. Soften our hearts against indifference. Open our eyes to the humanity in all. Guide our thoughts towards compassion. Bring healing to the wounded, strength to the mourners, courage to those facing adversity, wisdom to the leaders, and ensure the safe return of those unjustly held. Fill the world with your light, O God, and spread over us the shelter of your peace.
And we continue by offering a prayer for those who are in need of healing. You'll see on the screen behind me those whom we know to be in need of healing in our community this Shabbat, whether it be healing of the body or healing of the mind. And I invite you to share out loud anyone you are thinking about this Shabbat who is in need of healing. God grant healing to all those we've named aloud and those we've named in our hearts as we sing together these words of Mishabara. I invite forward Flo Weiss and Betty Weiss to open our ark again, and Sarah Hirsch and Jordan Hirsch for dressing the Torah. Invite the congregation to please rise. You may be seated. Now call forward Charlie to share some words of gratitude.
Thank you to everyone who has helped me get to this point in my life. First off, I would like to thank the clergy, teachers, and Madrahim who have helped me learn everything about Judaism. A special thank you to Karen and Mary for taking the time to be here for me on my special day. You have been there for our family throughout many life milestones, and we are so grateful you could be with me on the Bima. Mazel tov to the Davids family in Dakota. You did a really great job today. I'd like to thank all my tennis friends who have helped me get better at tennis and have cheered me on through all of my tennis tournaments. We love laughing together and making jokes. Thank you to my school friends who have done all of my schoolwork with me and have laughed about everything with me. Also, a big thank you to Bella and George, my dogs, for getting me through all of the emotional times and always loving to snuggle me. Thank you to our family friends, the Chapons, who we barely see but love to be around. We go to every Penn State game together and always get surprised seeing each other, like going on a Disney cruise. Also, I like to say happy birthday to Ella. This is the hardest part about writing my speech. My siblings. First, Liam. I love going into your room, thinking I'm walking into a shoe store. Even though you never want me to be around, I always look up to you and think you are so funny. Henry, you are a very fun person to be around. I love all of our late night talks and discussing sports every day. Lila, you and I are the exact same. We both are loud, dramatic, crazy, and love being center staged. Miss Sarah, thank you for being the best nanny. I know you love your job because I'm your favorite. I love all of our drives to CTA because we get to chat about my day without the other siblings interrupting. Uncle Brian, I always love seeing you when we come down to visit in Florida. My favorite time to be with you is when we play football, when I beat you in pickleball, and when you make fun of the family, especially Baba and Mom. Mossy, you are the best aunt. I love when you come to visit and we fish together. We always have fun doing the random activities we make up. And Baba, I know it's been really hard for you since Grandpa passed away, but I love how you're always keeping him with us. You and I love going on the boat, going on late night fishing trips, and going to Bass Pro Shops together. These are my favorite types of memories with you. Grampy, I think I took your passing the hardest, and I felt like we were just getting started. You taught me everything about the lake, like fishing and boating, and I still use everything you taught me to this day. I know you are watching over us today, and don't worry, I'm still taking care of Baba and the boat. Gigi, I know you're not here right now in Charlotte with us, but I know you're watching. Thank you for always setting a good example for me in Judaism and teaching me about it. Mama and Pop-Pop, I love spending time with you guys all the time. Mama, I love all the Indian food you make, and Pop-Pop, I love all your cheesy jokes, even though they're always funny. Now last, and definitely not least, Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad, I love you guys so much and want to thank you for shaping me into the man I am today. You guys are awesome, especially with driving us around for all of our activities. Thank you for taking me to school, tennis tournaments, and everything else that you take me to. I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything that you do for me. Mom, thank you for always being with me through the hard times. Thank you for pushing me to do better and work harder. Even though you aren't Jewish, you make it a priority for us to have strong Jewish values. I also love that we get to spend extra time together because you're my school tennis coach. Dad, thank you for always helping me become a strong Jewish man. Everyone says that we're exactly alike, and they're not wrong. We like to look at houses together, go on middle trips, eat at fancy restaurants, and go to tennis tournaments. You always know how to make sure I have a great day before I go to school. Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima.
Charlie, my mini-me. Where do we begin? Mom and I love you so much, and we are so incredibly proud of you today and every day for everything you are and for now becoming a bar mitzvah. Before you were born, Mom and I made the decision to raise all of our kids Jewish because it was extremely important to both of us that you grow up with Jewish values and traditions. Now more than ever, it's important to be proud of who you are and all those who came before you. This weekend marks the holiday of Purim, which, though a joyous Jewish festival and full of Mom's delicious hamantaschen, it also commemorates the survival of the Jews who were marked for death a long time ago, which unfortunately isn't so different from today as the conflict continues in the Middle East and around the world. Therefore, we must remember and remain loyal to the Torah and its teachings of justice, freedom, and peace. Even though you feel at times as though you get lost in our family, you are our upper middle child and have played that role splendidly. You always make it known when you are present, and your presence is definitely missed when you're not around. Charlie, We know that the world can be really scary at times. But look at what you've just accomplished today due to months of hard work and your love for Judaism. You've brought all of these people here together today to celebrate you and your accomplishments. Each of you Batt kids are so unique and have something special that differentiates you from the others. Yours is your ambition, your sense of humor, and your ability to forgive. You've maintained great grades and made the middle school tennis team both this year and last, and continue to work extremely hard to improve your craft, not for anyone else, but rather for yourself. You're hilarious. Your smile lights the darkness, and your laughter is infectious. It's not a coincidence that your Torah portion is about forgiveness, as I've always been very inspired by your ability to forgive, as we know that I can hold a grudge at times. You are named after my dad, William Charles Batt. Even though you never had the opportunity to meet him, I would like to think that you inherited your love of travel, interior design, theater, dining out, and all things bougie, the finer things in life, from him. I'm sure that he is watching down and smiling on you today, as he does every day with great pride. Grampy, who also left us way too soon, is doing the same, as y'all were always each other's biggest fans. Like Grampy, you know how to fill a room, and you've always had the ability to genuinely converse with and make all those around you feel so special. Similarly to both, your entrepreneurial spirit is aspirational. Whether you're working a lemonade, coffee, or froyo stand, cleaning garbage cans, walking dogs, or anything for that matter to save money for a boat. Yes, a boat. And along with his love for boating, fishing, and travel, today you are also inheriting Grampy's tallis, with which Baba presented you earlier this morning. He would be so incredibly proud of you, as would my dad. Some of my fondest memories growing up were taking trips with both my dad and Grampy, separately of course, and that continues for me as your dad in regards to our family trips, middles trips, tennis tournaments, and so many more. And I hope that you cherish those as much as we do. Your mom and I love you so much, and we are so incredibly proud of you. We're not only your parents, but your biggest fans. Thank you for choosing us to be your parents. We are so lucky. You have the most wonderful heart. You are one of a kind. Again, as the upper middle child, you've always felt the need to fight to make yourself heard. And boy, do you always. But don't lose that. What you have to say is important and can change the world. Being anxious is normal, but don't let fear keep you from experiencing the world and all its beauty, its excitement, and its adventure. Conquer it and enjoy it and be the boss that you are. May you always be humble, ambitious, kind, generous, appreciative, and of course, satisfied, and never lose your desire to always help others. Your Hebrew name is Chaim, which means life, and that's exactly what you are. The good, the bad, the ups, the downs, and always real. And so with that, l'chaim.
I would first like to thank all of the Madrahims, teachers, clergy, and my amazing tutors for helping me throughout this process to become a Bat Mitzvah. I would also like to thank Charlie for being a great B'nai Mitzvah partner in this process. Congrats to you and your family. Next, I want to thank all my friends for sharing this special day with me. You have all shaped me into a better person, and I have learned a lot from you all. I know how hard it is to put up with an amazing person like me. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to all my relatives and friends who came from places like Chicago, Atlanta, New Jersey, Maryland, and Florida. I'm so glad you were able to be here. It means a lot to me that we are all together for this special day, and I'm glad you are part of it. Next up, I would like to thank my big brother, Jake. Thank you for all the advice you have given me. I like hanging out with you and snapping people on your phone with funny filters. I admire your determination with football, and I'm inspired by your hard work. I would next like to thank my other older brother, Spencer. Thank you for always pushing me and supporting me to be the best I can be. I like car rides with you where we blast music, door dashing food, and stealing songs from you and putting them on my playlist. Dad, thank you for all you do for me. I love our inside jokes and listening and playing music with you. I like exploring new places with you, and I like how you stay in the moment. I love our runs to Harris Teeter and eating raspberry lemon sparkling mints. You have had a great impact on my life. And finally, Mom, I love going on adventures with you and hanging out with you. You support me in everything I do, and you are my #1 cheerleader. I love laughing with you and our productive Saturdays. Thank you for all you do behind the scenes. I would not be where I am today without you. Mom and Dad, please come join me on the bima.
I'd first like to congratulate Charlie and the Batt family on a job well done. It's so special that Dakota and Charlie were in the same class together their last year at CJP, and now they're sharing the bima together for their B'nai Mitzvahs. The teacher of their fours class from preschool is here today, Miss Ellen, who's waving her hands in the middle. She's a very special teacher because she was also Spencer's fours teacher at CJP, and she has been a part of our lives ever since. She helped lay the Jewish foundation that Dakota and Charlie have built upon. Here they are 8 years later, and they led a beautiful service together. I'm proud of you both for continuing your Jewish education and getting to this point. Okay, now back to Dakota, because let's face it, you deserve some special attention right about now. First of all, this service you led, you slayed that. You ate that up. You ate that up and left no pieces. These are her phrases that we say all the time. When I think about all the things that led us to today and this huge milestone in your life, I think about how we got here. And a lot of it is your determination and your perseverance. When you have a goal, you go at it again and again until you succeed. You've done this many times throughout your life. One memory that sticks out for me is during the very beginning of COVID when we were on lockdown and you really wanted to learn your front walkover. We went to the playground in our neighborhood and you stood on the soft pads and you tried over and over again. You didn't even stop to take a break in between tries. You were determined to get it, and as everyone can guess, you did, and then we both jumped for joy and felt that sense of accomplishment. Training for your bat mitzvah hasn't been easy at times, and there have been a lot of hurdles along the way. However, you set a goal and you did it by showing a lot of determination. I know you learned a lot of Hebrew and prayers throughout this journey of becoming a bat mitzvah, but I hope another takeaway for you is realizing that you can do hard things. You will be faced with many challenges in your life path, but I know you will always get through them because that is who you are and what you do. And I will be by your side for them all, cheering you on, helping you, and supporting you along the way. Another quality I love about you, Dakota, is your assertiveness. You speak up. You speak your mind. You make sure that no one will ever walk all over you. At times that can be challenging as your mom, but that trait will serve you well. You are already such a strong person, so confident, and I can't wait to see what you do with that as you navigate through life. It's hard to believe that in 13 short years you have already shown so much of who you are. Standing up here with you today, Dakota, means a lot to me and our family. You're carrying on important traditions, and you make our family and friends very proud. I hope you are always proud of who you are. I hope you continue Jewish traditions we have always done throughout your life. I hope you always remember your faith, which is the core of who you are. And I hope you always stay true to yourself and fight for what you believe in. I am so grateful for this privilege of seeing you attain this milestone today. You're my best girl. And I couldn't be prouder of you.
Good morning. Welcome to everyone's here today.
And to my family and others who are watching on the live stream, congratulations to the Charlie and the Batt family. It's truly a beautiful day celebrating this milestone for Dakota. Dakota, Coco, Cody, Codes, Pookie. So, back in 2010, when Mom and I knew we were going to have our third baby, being honest, we really wanted to have a girl. We already had 2 incredible boys, and we just knew that adding a girl would round out our family in a special way. Our prayers were answered on a cold February morning. This is tough. Okay. Our prayers were answered on a cold February morning when God delivered us a precious, healthy baby girl. From the moment... Okay. From the moment you could talk, your big and joyful personality, sense of humor, sweetness, and enthusiasm for life were front and center for everyone to see. And now you have grown into a smart, funny, sweet, energetic teenager. Everyone that knows you have a huge heart that embraces whatever is around you, and your playfulness and your great energy bring your friends and family joy. Your bat mitzvah symbolizes your transition from a girl into a woman and how you're now accepting the responsibility to do your best to live your life according to the values of the Torah. I hope that as life goes on, you continue to look at this ancient text and other sources of wisdom to find specific prayers that help you to express your gratitude and make requests to God. Taking time to pray is also the best way to step outside of all the things that happen to you every day in this life and reflect on your thoughts, your actions, values, and your goals. The Shema that we used to say together sometimes before bedtime is a simple but profound prayer as it reminds us to love God with all of our heart. It's 100% certain that not everything in life will go the way you want it to, but during difficult times, prayer can help you remember that there's a mysterious force that is invisible and greater than all of us that will always guide you to the right place. So this is my prayer for you today. Bless our daughter, O God. Watch over her, protect her, guide her, help her to continue to grow in body and mind and awareness of spirit. Dakota, may you have the courage to stand up for your ideals even when it's not popular, and to also know when it's best to be like water, knowing when to let go and go with the flow. May you remain grounded in God so you never let others steer you in the wrong direction. May you find expression for all your wonderful creativity. And anyone who has seen Dakota's TikToks knows exactly what I'm talking about here. And may you continue to share your unique and wonderful creative gifts with the world. And most importantly, may you always know that you'll never, ever be alone on life's journey. Dakota, you are so loved and cherished by your parents, your brothers. This is hard. Your parents, your brothers, your grandparents, and so many more. And we're all here today or here in spirit because we all wish for you to have a life that's filled with love, laughter, joy, and meaning. You'll always be in my heart, Co, and I love you.
I'm going to invite Charlie and his parents to join us back up here so that we can bless both of them. And we invite Cantor Thomas forward again, and I invite you to rise as we open the ark. I want to invite you to put your hands on the shoulders of your kids. And before we offer the words of the priestly blessings, Charlie and Dakota, I just want to thank you for your teachings today. And maybe they started in Miss Ellen's class in the 4s together, but both of you shared some similar lessons that I want to reflect back to you that I know that all of us are taking away. One, you both talked about forgiveness. And part of forgiveness is recognizing that all of us make mistakes, and that even now that you are Jewish adults, you too will make mistakes. But you are showing us that you go out there and you try, and that you're also forgiving of others, and hopefully forgiving of yourselves too. The other thing that you both shared is when you talked about prayers. Both Hine Matov and Ve'ahavta, you both talked about the importance of being together and of finding peace. And my prayer is that all of the leadership that you have shown today will help our society find peace and togetherness in the years ahead so that our world will continue to be a better place. Now we offer you these words of the priestly blessing that have been said for centuries from parents to children at all special occasions.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you each feel God's presence walking beside you, and may God grant you the blessing of shalom, of wholeness, and of peace. Amen. We remain standing as we turn to our concluding prayers with the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, L'Tet Gedula L'Yotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kegoyei HaRatzot, Velo Samanu Kemishpechot HaAdama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Begoralenu Kechol Amunam, Va'anachnu Korim, Umishtahavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad.
You may be seated. At this point in our service, our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us. We take time each service to think of those people who influenced us, who left their marks on our lives, and whose memories we honor every day. In our Temple Bethel community, we remember in the period of Shloshim those lost to us in the last 30 days: Henrietta Dahlk, Susan Kushner, IDF Staff Sergeant Maoz Moshe Morrill, James Jim Edward Purcell, and David Wahlberg. And we mark the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Leo Aft, Ann Bennett, Theodore Burrs, James Brock, John Cannizzaro, Saul Cohen, Sidney Sid Kojak, Judy Seisner, Hy Diamond, Alan Diamond, Harriet Dolan, John Wayne Eccleston I, Martin Fisher, June Owen Perry Flick, George Francis, Sheldon Friedman, Ronald Gable, Linda Garu, Paul J. Glazer, Evelyn Golder, Edith Greenberg, Archie Grossman, George A. Herkert, Helen Hyman, Bruce Joel Jacobson, Francis Meiselman Jaffe, Hans Kahn, Myra Kanarak, Doris Michaelov Cantor, Ron Kaplan, Mark Katz, Irving Katz, Faye Lampert, Jack Lash, Julius Levine, Howard Levine, Edward K. Levy, Jenny Lewis, Rona McAcote, Albert and Bessie Mann, Max Markel, Melvin Meerman, Shirley Perlman Mittler, Erna Muhlman, Bess Oppenheimer, Pearl Pearl, Pauline Pikert, Branislava Pinkney, James Rice, Yetta Rychek, Lorenzo Risch, Eva Ritter, Kendall Ross, Samuel Sadinsky, Leo Benjamin Schwartz, Rachel Reisner Selden, Lynn Shapiro, Ida Shear, Max Shore, Ida Seiner, Ida Smith, Margaret Spatz, Fred Winton, Henrietta Henny Witzer, and Isaac Zubrak. And we remember from the family of our B'nai Mitzvah, from Charlie's family, we remember William Batt, David Goodman, Mildred Goodman, Joseph Bogle, Lila Batt, Uzman Patanwala, Miriam Patanwala. And we remember from Dakota's family, Stephen Hirsch, Stanley Weiss, Sylvia Weiss, Leo Weiss, and Bill Leininger. If you are remembering someone this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name out loud with our community. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We rise as one community in solidarity with those who mourn to recite the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'almad yivrach yiruteh, Be'amlich malchuteh, B'chayachon uv'yamachon, Uv'chayeh dechol Beit Yisrael, B'agala uv'zman karif v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalel v'yithalhal shemei Hivusha Berhu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nehemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rama min shemaya v'hayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
You may be seated. We invite Charlie and Dakota's parents and siblings to join us back on the bima for our closing blessings. We begin with the words of Shehechianu, thanking God for enabling us to reach this moment and be together as these two join our community as adults. We join together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim.
motzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
With that, we wish everyone Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov. We invite you to come get a piece of challah and to wish them Mazel Tov.
We're so proud.
Yay.
We did it. So proud of you.
Congratulations,
You did such a good job.
Thank you.
It was a beautiful service.